So I think Rahul Gandhi bought and paid for this kind of data, knowing that it was going to be inaccurate, right? Maybe not knowing how inaccurate, but just knowing that he's paying for a puff piece for him, hoping that it would never come out. And if it did, he'd be so disassociated with it that there's no connection. Yaps. It's in the name. Alright, so today in India Matters, this video has demolished Rahul Gandhi's fake Vote Chauthi campaign. Frustrated, the Congress is now threatening Shiv Arur with legal action. Let's ensure many more people watch it. Bullies must be called out, punched in the face, and told to sit down. Alright.
So an election data organization, a very prestigious organization that Rahul Gandhi's Congress party members have quoted as one small part of their Vote Chori crusade, has just apologized for publishing a piece of garbage data.
Fake data. And if you guys have been on the channel, we kind of, the guy who said the data was fake, he was the head of this organization. And it just goes to prove, like, when you see these polls on, like, whether it be for politics or these graphs and data for, like like food, health, and administration, stuff like that, not all the data is 100% accurate. That's ultimately what I'm trying to get at.
Apologized for a data post that suggested vote rigging in Maharashtra. Nothing to do with what Rahul Gandhi has been alleging on a case study on Karnataka, but I'm talking about the overall Vote Chori crusade. Well, a post that Rahul Gandhi's team member promptly waved around as part of his Vote Chori crusade has now been deleted. But let's be clear, this isn't some silly oversight by the organization in question. That's at least my view. Comparing Lok Sabha data with assembly election data is not even a rookie error.
So to me, this is like the NGOs here in America. What I think went down is that the Rahul Gandhi's administration, their campaign, their people wanted to put out data that made them look good and put other people bad, but they can't directly be involved in that data. So they paid or propped up another company, maybe many moons ago or maybe very recently, to get somebody in there, pay enough to become a part of it, even low-key take it over. That's kind of what we see in American media, where a lot of the stuff that they're pushing is just bought and paid for. So I think Rahul Gandhi bought and paid for this kind of data, knowing that it was going to be inaccurate, right? Maybe not knowing how inaccurate, but just knowing that he's paying for a puff piece for him, hoping that it would never come out. And if it did, he'd be so disassociated with it that there's no connection. In this case, I think there's a connection.
Which is why the apology itself is ludicrous. Because what it really shows is that someone in the mix tried to sneak in rubbish data to bolster a preset narrative of vote chori. And when seniors who weren't paying attention suddenly realized the blunder, they panicked, yanked it down and begged forgiveness before anyone else could catch on. Yes, CSDS, that's the name of the organization, did pull down the post and apologize before it fully exploded. But the damage was done, because when a body with the reputation of CSDS posts blatantly false correlations amidst a very high-octane political war, it raises serious questions over the integrity of the entire so-called data-driven chorus claiming that democracy has been stolen.
Isn't it so funny that the people that claim democracy is stolen are doing undemocratic things? Isn't that funny? Also, shout out 420.
Much of that data has already been explained as non-anomalous or just plain misleading. Now, this episode only deepens the suspicion. To me, the CSDS misfire proves two things. First, that the ecosystem trying so desperately to prove vote theft has zero quality control. If your most respected non-political research house can slip this nonsense through, why should anyone trust the flood of charts and graphs being peddled elsewhere, even though the post has nothing to do with some of those graphs that have been put out? Especially if the peddler of those charts separately has made a prestige issue of not signing a sworn affidavit on this data. Second, it exposes confirmation bias, in my view, and that's most important, that even so-called neutral academic-driven outfits are straining to see fraud where none may actually exist.
Exactly what I was trying to say. Just said it with a much cooler mustache.
They're not testing data, they're hunting for patterns to match a pre-cooked belief.
Yep.
So the real question is this, viewer.
Yep.
Was this just a one-off innocent error? Or does it call into question the entire edifice of proof of rigged elections that Rahul Gandhi is separately projecting? Was it merely a stumble that Rahul Gandhi will brush aside, or his team, or
I don't think this will be the nail that's in the coffin, but this is definitely one of the nails that will make up the coffin.
has it fatally hobbled his entire vote Chori crusade, as the BJP would like us to believe? One thing is certain, when even the referee starts playing the game, you know the match could possibly already be compromised.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. And I definitely think the political system is compromised 100%. But I also think that this wasn't a systemic failure. This is just how the system is made up and played. Like, that's just, that's what I'm confused with, you know? I'm so confused. What part of the video are they planning to use to make a case in the 1970s and 2011, like the Lulu they lived in, where they press the media to exist but revert anything that has to do with a bunch of letters that are arranged in Gandhi? Huh? Any apology insisted by EC is presumed to be trivial as far as the citizens are concerned. Seriously, if there's an issue, it must dictate the quantum of punishment in all cases. When the charges are knowingly and willfully designed charges to cause harm to the system, namely electoral process, nothing less than 11 years of jail is warranted, so that the lesson is learned. With practically no judicial power, the EC, which is one of the biggest and most important institutions, the EC will be converted into a sitting duck. Is there an issue to be taken so lightly? I definitely think this is some broken English, right? But what I'm afraid is going to happen is like what happens over here in America, which is absolutely nothing. If you want to stop this corporate corruption, the political corruption, all of this, heads have to roll. You have to see who is the one who is making the decisions, who is in the job of the decision maker, who is the CEO, who are the sitting heads. Because when failure like this happens, not only do they need to instantly lose their job, they need to go to jail. And I am a big fan of this 11 years. You know, 11 years is a long time. Lessons will be learned, that is for sure. I just don't think that we're going to see it, which is unfortunate. What about the Vocharthi accusation of your Angthakar? RG showed proof of... I'm assuming that this is another case where the other side has bad data. Which, once more, you just can't trust the data. When you have political stuff or like sometimes even health and fitness things, we're like, see, look at the charts, look at the data. How honest is that data? Narrative manufacturers hide when the truth shines on their fictitious tales. All right, someone woke up feeling spry and crafty this morning. At this point, Rahul Gandhi should first hire some good content creator to write his campaigns. He should team up with Drew Rothi for sure. Now, that would easily become the most hated campaign in all, because if you don't hate Rahul Gandhi, you probably hate Drew Rothi, right? And if you hate Drew Rothi, you probably don't like Rahul Gandhi. And that would just be the most hated political party. They could try to be like Sasuke, where they want to be Hokage, just so that they can unite everybody in terms of them hating everybody, uniting to hate them. Kind of like how China and India are becoming friends, so you should give Donald Trump the Peace Prize for uniting some enemies. He really wants the Peace Prize. He's done a lot. He wants that Peace Prize. He'll hang it up in the Mar-a-Lago. You can come see the Peace Prize. We all know what the Nobel Peace Prize is, but how many of us actually know what it looks like? That's a good question. I don't, and I would love to find out. Alright, with that said, I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Make sure you make somebody laugh today. Be the light in someone's life. Spread joy, not hate. Like this video, subscribe, share it with a friend so they can lose some brain cells too. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.